Good morning, everyone from Starfish and Amman. I hope you all are all doing very well today. I'm actually in Montreal today, having a little bit of a family vacation, but I'm really happy to be able to join you guys and talk to you a little bit more about customer service today. So pretty exciting stuff I want to discuss with you today. I'm just going to project up my screen here so that I can take you through a little bit of a presentation. Let's go to our first slide here. And yeah, so what we want to talk about today specifically is mindset and how to change your actions. So in some of the meetings we've had, I feel like we've been making some great progress, but mindset is super important as far as making changes in the way you're currently doing things. And if you want to have a real impact going forward on how to be more successful in servicing your customers. So I think we've seen this slide before. Again, this is our whole approach is to keep it very consistent, our approach. So what that means is anything that I'm sharing with you would be great if you can try it as many times as possible. Oftentimes, we'll try it with a few customers and won't have success after a couple times, and then we go back to our old ways. I think this is some of the concerns that some of the people on the different teams expressed to me, that some locations are better than others, some customers are better than others. But the point is, if you're consistent with your approach and the way you model your approach, you're going to see more impact. Keeping it simple, again, is not making it a complicated process, but making it something that you can handle and that the customers can understand. And executable means getting it done. So let's just stay focused on moving it forward. Here's the model again. I don't want to spend much time here, but as we have discussed many times, it's very important that you're greeting your customers initially very quickly when they come in the stores. And I think you guys are all good at that, being very positive. And then an important place to spend the time, obviously, is here in the evaluation. That's asking the questions. And this is where you're potentially going to see the most impact in the way you're doing things moving forward. Your response is, of course, where you're providing the customer solution or providing them their product. And oftentimes, some of the interactions, as you expressed, were basically them greeting them and giving them what they want. So there's not a lot of the questioning going on, but I think this is where we could really have the most impact and change the way you're servicing your clients. So what is mindset? So mindset, the definition around it is really, it's an important thing. So like the first sentence here says, when it comes to making big changes in the world around you, you must first change your mindset. So our mindset is currently the way we believe, what we think, what we believe of things, what we believe them to be true. And it's a powerful, powerful thing. The reason it's a powerful thing is a lot of us get set in our beliefs and set in our ways, and then it makes it very difficult for us to move things forward in a different way. So as the last part says here, our mindsets determine everything. What we believe to be true, our value systems, and the actions we take. So let's decompose this a little bit. This is really super important. What we believe to be true. So mindset can be based in so many things. The way you were raised, it can be based in your faith, it can be based in ideas of things people are telling you, it can be the way you were trained, but this is stuff we believe to be true. So this is a pretty powerful statement. We're not going to do things we don't believe to be true, things we don't believe in, things we think are false or fake or dishonest potentially, but these are the things we believe to be true. Our value systems are super important. I've talked with you a little bit about my integrity. Integrity to me is a super important value, and if you're not living and doing things every day with integrity, then to me it's not necessarily worth doing them if it's not done with integrity. So you all have different value systems, and this is important. This is what you bring to your job, and this is what makes you successful. And then, of course, our actions we take. So our actions is what determine how people react to us. So if we come to a person in a situation and we're coming in with a very negative actions, the person is typically going to have negative reactions to that. So if we come at a person smiling, person's typically going to smile back. If we come at a person with a not so happy face, they may mirror the same thing back. So these are very, very, very important things. Let's talk about changing mindset. So mindset is what Mindset is what you've got. Sorry, let's back up for a second. I'm stumbling on my tongue here. Mindset is what got you where you are today and may not necessarily get you where you want to be tomorrow. So a lot of our beliefs, a lot of our actions, a lot of what we believe to be true has gotten us to where we are today. But if you want to advance in your career, you want to advance in life, you want to expand yourself, sometimes you have to make changes. And this is where mindset comes into play. So the good news is, as it says here, is that there's a way to change your mindset, change your actions, and change your future. So just because you might think things aren't changing based on what we've presented to you so far and the support that you're getting from me and from your managers to make changes, they will change if you stick with it. And it's critical that you have to change your mind and then change your actions. If you don't do that, you're not going to advance. So in order to change your future, you have to change your actions and your mind. So if you look at this little diagram here, status quo mindset, it says disruptor mindset and the impact. So what does status quo mindset mean? Status quo is what we do now. This is what we're used to doing. This is what we do day in and day out. This is where I'm getting feedback from some of you that we've tried this, but it doesn't work. So you kind of go back to the way you've done it. You might try it once or twice, but at the end of the day, it's very status quo. And as it says here below that, transactional. So as you know, when somebody comes in and they ask you for an order of whatever, fish, they want some meat, it's very transactional. They ask, you give, they ask, you give, they ask, you give. It's very transactional. And that's kind of the status quo of what we've been doing. So where you want to expand and change your mindset outside of the status quo is to get to the disruptor mindset. The disruptor mindset is what's going to be transformational. And this is where you need to change the way you're doing things now. So if you're not asking questions to your clients, you need to ask questions. If you're not greeting them and asking them how they are, you need to do that. Again, you might try this with some clients and it's going to go nowhere, but you need to do it over and over and over and get your actions into that mindset where you're disrupting the way things are done. You're coming at it differently, and eventually people are going to react to it in a positive way. The impact, of course, what it says here is meaningful and sustainable relationships. Isn't this what we want? We want to have clients that are coming back over and over again. And think of the clients that come back regularly that you do have relationships with. I can almost guarantee you have lived more from this transformational mindset versus something that's transactional in your status quo. So let's think about ways we can change the way we're interacting with clients, how we can push ourselves a little harder, and how we can have a more transformational relationship. And thus meaning that the impact of that will be meaningful and sustainable relationships. It's very important. So what I want you to do, this is a very short video, that you've had a chance to watch this and you may want to watch it again. I want you to give me some feedback, and please share via email what you thought was good and bad. So there's no right answers in this. This is simply your opinion. I want your opinion. I value your opinion. I want your feedback. Let me know what you think is good. Let me know what you think is bad about this video. And I'm not talking about how it was produced, because obviously I'm doing it on my computer. It's not the greatest quality, but more important, the concepts in it. So I want to hear your feedback on, shifting your status quo, your transactional type sale, to something where you're disrupting. So disruption, you're doing something different. You're changing the way that you're doing things. So the way you do things now are status quo. You've done those over and over and over again. So I want you to take some of the skills that I've brought in previous interactions, and I want you to throw them at the client. I want you to work with those and be transformational, disrupt, and then you will see the impact of that is you're going to start more meaningful and sustainable relationships. What are these things you're going to do to disrupt? And it comes back to here. So you're going to greet the client. You're going to greet them quickly. You're going to try to build rapport with them. But most importantly, this is where you're going to disrupt. This is where you're going to evaluate. You're going to ask them more questions. You're going to try to expand what you're selling them. So maybe you're not just selling them a piece of meat. You're selling them more of an experience. You're giving them recipe ideas. You're giving them ideas on how to look for other stuff in the store. You're trying to increase the customer satisfaction and thus increasing your sale. So again, I want you to look at this, give me your feedback of what you think is good, what you think is bad, and send that to my email. Please get that to me by the end of this week, by Friday, if possible. And let me just add that in here, actually. Let's put a deadline of feedback by Friday the 22nd. Okay, end of day. Oops. Friday the 22nd. Okay, so please work with that. Please get that feedback to me, and then I can aggregate that, and then I can come back and speak to you more. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the stores over the next couple of weeks, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Everyone, take care, and we'll talk to you very soon. Cheers.